Hi everyone, it's Brenda Quintana here. I am just in my studio this morning making my thank you cards for January orders, and I thought I'd share with you how I made my card. It is a fancy fold card and it isn't difficult, but you might want to know how I made it. So here is one of the cards that I'm making. I'm making them with the Floral Delight paper. It's this paper that has a lot of forsythia blossoms and yellow blooms in general. It's just a beautiful spring paper, and I'm using almost this whole pack to make my thank you cards, and they're all going to be a little bit different. There's going to be maybe 4 different cards. So I showed you this one right here. This one's another one. I'm just picking up on the color that's the background of the paper. That's what I'm using for my card base. So this one has a lot of pool party in it, so I pulled the pool party. This one has Daffodil Delight in the background, so I'm doing it in Daffodil Delight. And this one is, I just did a white card base. So those are the different ones that I'm making, and they are just so beautiful. They're not hard to make, but I thought I would share how I made them anyway. I'm using the Delightful Wishes bundle on them, and so I'm going to share with you how I made them. Also, how I put them inside an envelope too, because that is the other piece of the puzzle, because these do fold down and go inside a medium envelope. So I want to show you how I did that. Maybe I'll pull these cards forward first before I forget, and I will do that right away. So this month I do have a host code going before I forget. So if you place an order of $50 or more, I will be sending you the party dots in March. And so it will be a different thank you card in March, but I always try and make my cards special. So this is for placing an order this month. And also in February, we still have celebration going on. So make sure you bump up your order to at least $60 so you can get rewarded by Stampin' Up, because for every $60 you spend with Stampin' Up, you will get a reward from the celebration catalog. So I just wanted to pop that up there before I forget. If your order is higher, like say it's $150 or more, then remove the host code or don't use it, so that you can get your own rewards, and you will still get my gift of the month with an order that high. All right, I'm going to switch over to my other camera, and let me just share with you quickly how this goes inside a medium envelope. This is a medium envelope here. And for this particular one, let me use the yellow card so you can see it better against the white envelope. So they do fold down. You just have to kind of shove it like this. Okay, and this has a little bit of a tail hanging off the end, and that's fine. You can absolutely do that. You can actually fold your card like this or like this because it's symmetrical. But for me, I'm going to have to fold it like this because I don't want that extra tail hanging off the end. I suppose I could also fold it like this, but then it's going to get really bulky in the center. So you probably just want to fold it one way, and then this flattens out the card nicely for mailing, and it will fit right inside of this envelope. See? And it will be, just push that down. And it actually mails pretty flat. It will just take a regular postage stamp, a regular forever stamp in the US. And so so when I'm building these, depending on your design, you don't want overhang on both ends. And you want to make sure, you want to test it out so it doesn't overhang past this area. You can overhang a bit on the top and the bottom too. The top and the bottom doesn't matter so much, just as long as you don't go beyond either the top or the bottom of the card. If you are going to write on this card, it doesn't have your typical opening for writing on. So what I would do is I would just create some white panels on the back to write a little message to put on there. This is probably a card that if you want to write a lot, you might want to, you could maybe even attach like a little card base on this side right here if you wanted to. Like if you did like a 5.5 inch, maybe make it instead of 5.5 inches, make it 6 inches by 4.25, and then score it at the 5.5 inch mark, and then you'll have a little tab right here that could attach right here, and then you could have a card base that just a back base that will come off the back of your card, that then you have a full area to write in. I just think this is just a beautiful card to display. And here we have, so you could also do wishing you a happy birthday. This could be a birthday card. You could also do this layer on here with this particular label. If I did that, I would probably put the wishing up just a little bit higher so that my label would actually be fully on that layer. And also I would probably, you have to think about where you want your overhang, right? The wishing would, if the wishing is coming off of this way, then also this label would have to go on this side that rather than coming off of both ends, right? Because we have to still fold it down to get it in there. But I really like this card layout. I don't know if you shifted this. Let's wishing you a happy birthday. Let's see. If you shifted your tail of the wishing, you could also just stamp it down here and just move your wishing, the G, over a little bit. You could actually fit the whole happy birthday greeting under here like I did, like that. So that is just an option for you. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how I made this card. Let's put these aside. So I'm right in the middle of making all of my cards. You can see I've got all my pieces right here. So I am just gonna grab one of these pieces and show you right from there. So this is the Lemon Lolly card base. And you could go along and score all of these pieces, just boom, 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 boom. But I flip this one over a bit just so that I can fold away from the valley. When you're creating, when you're folding, you're always supposed to fold away from where you put the score line. So you're folding away from the valley. When I'm doing a lot of 3D things, I don't really always pay attention to that, but it can be beneficial to help your cardstock from breaking or cracking. In this case, let's just go ahead and I'll give you the measurements. This card base is 7.5 by 4.25. And what I did was I put the 7.5 inch side up at the top, and I scored at the 2 inch mark, flipped it to the other side, scored at the 2 inch mark, and then I'm flipping it over and scoring at the 3 inch mark, flipping to the other side and scoring at the 3 inch mark. If that way you can fold away from the valley correctly to create the proper folds, because these folds right here are like our valley folds. And these right ones closer to the center are mountain folds, right? If that's too hard for you to wrap your head around, let me just give you the scoring measurements so you can go all the way across if you like. So if you would like, you just cut your card base 7.5 by 4.25, and then you're going to score at the 2-inch mark all the way down, the 3-inch mark, the 4.5-inch mark, and the 5.5-inch mark. Okay, and so that will take care of your scored card base. Then I like to take a bone folder, and remember I am folding away from the valley. The valley's down here. I'm gonna fold away, do the other outside fold. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the inside folds. The valley's on the bottom here. And this is the card base. That's how simple it is. Then you're going to take 2 pieces of whatever designer series paper you would like. I like to use 2 matching pieces on the end and a different one in the center. If you wish, though, you could use all 3 of the same pieces going across. Maybe that's easier in your brain to do, but whatever you want. These pieces measure 1 3/4 by 4, 1 3/4 by 4, and then I have, for my center pattern, I have a different one that is 1 1/4 by 4. Okay, so then you just glue them to the panels. Now these panels right here I leave blank. So I'm just going to take this, and this one has about 1/8 of an inch going all the way around. You can see this paper is just so happy and spring-like. We got about 6 inches plus of snow on the weekend. So I can't wait till our forsythia bushes are in bloom. They are just so gorgeous. Actually, I can see the forsythia right out my window in spring when it blooms. It's on the side of our house. And then this piece right here, look at this, is also a pretty pattern. There's lots of pretty patterns. I don't think there's an ugly pattern in the whole bunch. So just enjoy this paper. It has been going in and out of stock. But if you're still ordering it, and it's this spring 2025, January to April, Stampin' Up! Does source their regular paper within the US. So that really makes it helpful for back orders. It usually doesn't go on back order for too long. Okay, so then you're going to need a piece of 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. We're going to create this panel right here. We're going to use 2 colors, Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie. And we're going to be using this 2-step stamp from the stamp set. And all I'm going to do is, well, first of all, let's ink this up in Daffodil Delight. 2-step stamping was the thing I fell in love with when I first started stamping. It was like my wow moment. I'm just going to center this near the top like that. And then I'm going to come in with my detail in the pumpkin pie in the darker color. And you just need to kind of practice aligning this, but it's not hard. I just kind of have 2 or 3 key flowers that I focus on that I kind of go, okay, those need to align, and then I stamp down. If you're even a little bit off the alignment, it doesn't matter, but this is just so simple and easy to create this layer. Then I will live dangerously because I always like glue. I shouldn't just glue this right away because I still need to stamp on the bottom, but I need to stamp and cut out the wishing greeting. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this and glue this down. I'm going to hope that I can stamp properly. Okay, so that is, this old olive piece measures 3.5 by 2.5. And I was a busy bee. I cut out a whole bunch of greetings for my thank you cards that say wishing on them. There's the stamp that says wishing, and then I just die cut it with the matching die. And when you're, just as a little reminder, when you're pulling off or putting on one of these photopolymer stamps, I always put it like face down on something that isn't sticky, like a piece of computer paper, copy paper, and then I pick it up with my stamp, because if I try and slap it down on here, it's a long skinny stamp. Where is it? Just have it on here. Grab it. Aha. Okay, I have it on this big block. It is a long skinny stamp, so okay, I don't have a thing to clean off my stamps right now, but I'm gonna just peel this off and kind of just show you. Hopefully I won't get too much green on my fingers because I haven't cleaned this off. So rather than putting this on the block and causing it to warp, because if I'm going to use the die, I need to have it match the metal die shape. So instead, what I would do is put it on a piece of computer paper face down. It's not sticking to anything now. It's going to go back to its original shape. And then I'm going to take my block and pick it up like this. And then it should be in the correct shape for the die. I would test out one image first to make sure it matches your die perfectly before doing what I did. Like, I wouldn't stamp like 50 of these and then hope that my die alignment was 100%. I would stamp one and test it first before I did all of that, right? Okay, so I die cut that. I hope you all know how to die cut. If not, most of my videos do contain some die cutting, so you should be able to pick that up really easily. So I'm going to glue my wishing to my piece. I'm going to just use a little bit of Tombow. And I want to make sure that my W is on here. I need room to stamp wishing and then you well, right? So you see I need like a little bit of space down there. And I've got my little stamp here. We're going to use Old Olive ink. Try not to smush it too hard because it's a small stamp. And then I'm just going to tuck this right under there. And there is the panel. Okay, we're almost done. So when I'm adhering this together, I want to make sure that this piece is going to not come off the edge. So really, it just needs to fit in between these two score lines and centered up and down. But what I like to do to make sure that everything is aligned when I am shipping it, I fold it over like this, because we're just going to be gluing to this middle pattern. No glue is going to go here and no glue is going to go here. It can just attach to here because it's going to hover off the edges, right? So what I do is I fold this down in the direction that I'll want it to go when it's closed. Because I have a tail hanging off here, I'm going to fold it this way. And I bring this right to the edge and I say, okay, that looks great. And this looks great. And I'm going to put my thumb here and my finger here. I'm going to hold down this middle panel. And then I'm going to put glue in between my fingers. Like that. And that way I know I only should put glue between my two fingers here. I'm going to come back in, slide this into place, and then I'm just going to take another look. I want to make sure it's lined up at the edge here, And I basically want to make sure that there's the same amount of space on the up and the same amount of space on the down side. The up and the bottom, on the top and the bottom. And then once you like the placement, you're going to press it down. And then when it comes out of the envelope, then the person can arrange it symmetrically like that. And it's just very pretty, and it's not very hard to make, and that's what I love about this card design. It is easy peasy. Now, if you don't like this particular, or you want to see what it looks like with another bundle, I did these cards with the Storybook Friends bundle, which is so cute. I used the Hello Friend out of here, and I used the paper, the Storybook Moments paper on here. There's these little die cuts that come in the Storybook Moments paper. Now, this paper has been also in and out of stock, so grab it when it is back in stock. It is super cute, but I did this little one, and look at this one. Isn't that cute? Just using the Storybook Moments paper. It just took a little moment to do that. Now, if you didn't want to get the paper that has the cute little die cuts, you can also stamp these little guys out of here, and they're a lot bigger. See the size here? They're a lot bigger than like, let's take this one. This is the bunny with the cabbage. Like, look at the size difference. That's the size, and this is the actual size. So on here it would be the right size for the card, making it like that. And then we have, of course, the little dies that will cut out your little Storybook Friends right there. So that's just another design using the same fold. This back cardstock is boho blue, just in case you're wondering what color that is. So there you go. My thank you cards will be these ones here, not the Storybook Friends ones, but I hope you enjoyed. That video sharing with you how to do this fancy fold. It's really easy to do. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, or leave me a comment below. I appreciate all of those things, and wishing you a happy day, and I hope to see you on one of my live videos soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.